And I said, I don't have time for this right now. I'm really sorry. She was so persistent and so nice. She asked me to come to a network meeting. And I remember that day because I was like, I do not want to go to this thing. I had just done professional learning with my teachers. You know, my kids were all coming onto campus, and I was like, really, I'm going to leave my kids to go to this thing? But I did, because I told her I would go. So I went, and I drove a little ways and met Nicole face to face, and sat in this network meeting with other users of the product, which we already owned that I was not using, and saw this is not just a professional development platform. It is a professional learning network, and through just a couple of hours spent with some people who were using it in fairly unsophisticated ways, I saw the potential of what this could do, and how all this time I'd been saying I don't have time for this, and how it would not only save time for me, but really help improve teaching and learning on my campus. And so from that experience, I started working with Nicole quite closely, and started as a principal with the Observation 360 piece, and shared that with my teachers. We developed we already had some templates. They were just paper pencil. And so Nicole helped me convert all of those templates that we were already using into electronic digital forms where I could get some real-time data. Because what was happening up to that point is I was doing my walkthroughs, keeping all my paper data, giving it to my secretary, who spent 2 days a month aggregating all of this data for me so that I could share with teachers. And it was just like I wanted to kick myself that I had not made time for this earlier, right? And it was a practice we were already doing. It's just that the technology made it much more sustainable. It made it much more time efficient, and it freed up my secretary to do things that only she could do. And it gave my teachers their feedback right away. So when I would go in and give them feedback, they would get an email instantaneously. And what I saw happen in my classroom in my school is I would walk out of a classroom. My teachers would literally go to their computer and see what did she say? What feedback? Because we already had that culture of feedback on our campus. It just expedited it. It made the feed faster, so the improvement happened faster with my teachers. It also allowed me to aggregate and disaggregate information and share it with the whole staff on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, and then I was able to link in, video clips about what this looks like from the school improvement library, and so it gave my teachers what they needed, right? It gave them that differentiated, on-demand professional learning. They didn't have to wait till Monday morning for me to lead or one of their colleagues to lead it. They could see it right away. And what I saw start to happen was I would go into a classroom in the morning, give them some feedback, and because of the nature of the video examples and the clarity, and because it came so quickly to them, by the after lunch, they had already changed how they were doing things based on that feedback. And so that's the power of feedback for learners. And we know through John Hattie's research that that's key. But we don't do that for teachers, because of the technology. The format allowed me to give much more specific feedback, let my teachers get it much more quickly, linked into examples from our professional development as well as the vast library that School Improvement has, that just gave my teachers access to all kinds of resources. And it also allowed me as a site principal to gather information and report data on that. And it was intriguing. I would share with my teachers. There's one report that shows you the hours that people are watching, and you could see about 9 o'clock when they all put their kids down that it spiked, and people were on the software. And we had some really late users at 2 a.m. and everyone wanted to know who was watching School Improvement at 2 a.m. But just that kind of data and information was interesting to my teachers. It gave them windows and insights into their colleagues that they would have never had otherwise. And so, just the power and it's not that the things that we were doing were wrong, but I just saw how the technology and the hybrid nature of the School Improvement products really pushed my teachers so much in such a short amount of time. And, then I started talking to my colleagues because it wasn't being well used in San Bernardino. And that's kind of when it started to take off a little bit, to go, oh wow, there's a different way. It's not just a library of videos, because I think it was sold to us as a library of videos, which is great, but it's how you use the library, and it's the ease of use, and how how Observation 360, I don't know what it's called now, but Observation 360 connected the learning to the practice. And that's when practice changes, when the learning is connected. When I saw that happen for my teachers, it really helped me to catch a vision of how teaching and learning is changing in the digital age, and how technology can help us. It's not the cure-all, it's not the end-all be-all, it's not a replacement, but how technology can really expedite and provide us be used as a resource to really grow learning in the classroom, and in exciting ways, and really free up teachers to do what teachers do best, which is the individual interaction that kids need to be inspired and to be encouraged and to be motivated. I think in education, often we do things the way we were taught, the way we learned. If it was good enough for me, then it's good enough for the next one. And really, that's not our charge in education. Our charge is, it's not that it was good enough for me, it's I want to make it better for the next one coming along. And that's the key, is how do we make it better? It's not just good enough, how do we make it better?